Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. It's week 2 here in High Ridge Farm of the winter season, and we have many things that we need to do. We still have a few items to complete on the crafting side, we still have to achieve the final cooking recipe, and we've asked Robin to start building the community upgrade, which will give us the next stage of shortcuts across the town, which is fantastically useful. But of course there are going to be other things that we're going to have to deal with as we progress throughout these next few days. I want to go back to Ginger Island, see Mr. Key, see what quest he's going to offer us this week. After I failed miserably 2 weeks running on trying to reach 100, well, floor 100 in Skull Caverns. I think I've got an idea for it, but we're going to see. But I've also got a lot of ore and resources that I need to smelt as part of my many dungeon delves into Skull Caverns, which does mean that I'm going to have to make sure I smelt all of that and, you know, do all I can to make sure it's a better end result of, like, resources that I've got. Because that's going to be a big thing. I want to make sure I have enough resources of everything, really, and just to make sure I can do well with them, I guess. I think that's probably the best way of really describing it. I just want to make sure my life is made as easy as possible at this point. Okay, so I'd forgotten about the Ice Festival being a thing, so that was a bit stupid, but it is here, and we are celebrating it down outside of Marnie's ranch. Let's go speak to the pig. Oink oink. Of all the weird things for me to do there. There's nothing really that's available that's of any interest to me. Ooh, I should probably try making some cranberry sauce, because that's a useful mining thing. Although at the same time, the miner's treat might be better, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a think and see. Because that's really what I can boil it down to, is I need to be aware of what's actually available to me, and what can I do, what's going to make my life easier, blah blah blah. Okay, snowmen are indeed okay. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that my wife is blushing about the fact that she's got cold hands. Sounds like somebody I know very well who has always perpetually cold hands and enjoys freezing the hell out of me. Very pleasant of them. No, Clint, it's just this snowman of yours is a bit pants. You want to go to carrot nose? Let's see what pet... Oh. I mean, I want to say something funky, but I think I've said that to her last year. Let's say, think outside the box. Okay, Penny, you've got very little imagination. I mean, if I said that to Abigail, I think she'd be all over that, because that's just her character, isn't it? She's a little bit more out there. She wants to do odd and have fun with it, which is very fair, I think. You know, why would you not want to enjoy yourself and enjoy the weird and wonderful? Now, I always forget that Linus is skulking over here. I kind of feel sorry for Rosmodius. Like, imagine somebody's built an igloo outside your house so you can't leave. Thanks, Linus. I mean, that's very fair, Leo. It's also, I wanted to find Leo because it's the first time he's celebrated a lot of the festivals here, and I'm curious to see what he has to say about them all, because he's well, he's kind of an interesting character because he's not experienced this before. He's not lived on the island, not lived on the mainland, because, you know, he's stuck on the island. But, you know, that's a thing. Okay, so let's start this fishing competition, Mr. We'll see how well we can do in it. I mean, it's not likely to be super... I mean, I say it's not likely. I've completed it numerous times. I know it's not super difficult. It's just a bit... I don't entirely want to say dull, but it is a thing. It's not like the most exciting challenge there is out there. Again, not the most difficult challenge out there, but it's not the end of the world. Right, let's catch this fishy. Get on the line, you. Okay, so we've got one fish. I mean, it's not like it's a particularly difficult challenge, is it? Catching fish. I mean, not really in the grand scheme of things. Considering, you know, fishing skill of 10 and all that lovely jazz. Now, one of the things that I was also considering for these next couple of weeks is that I'm pushing very close to perfection. And I'm really pleased with that fact. And I'm debating, what do I do once I achieve perfection? Like with the rest of the month, if I can achieve it before the end of the month. And I guess that's sort of a consideration. What would be a good thing for me to do at this point? and I kind of got to figure that out. I kind of want to have a go at trying to work my way through Journey of the Prairie King. Like, I've completed it before in the past. I know I have. I have the achievement. I've definitely done it, and I've definitely killed Fector. It's about Fector, I think. You know, that's the name of the end boss. Weird and wonderful chap that he is. And yeah, I've done that. I've completed it. It's not anything super major, but I haven't completed it on this playthrough, and I'd quite like to have a copy of the arcade machine in my house, and I think that's quite reasonable. So yeah, that's what I'd like to have, my own copy of Journey to the Prairie King. And the thing is, I'm also looking through and realizing that I've never actually done a Joja run. And it hurts me to do it. I don't really want to. But at the same time, I've never done it, and I probably should. So we'll see how well that goes. Anyway, so we have our prizes being awarded for who can catch the most fishies. Go on, Linus, who was it? Was it me? Did I win again? That is indeed a lot of fish. Who would have guessed? And the smell. They shouldn't smell, that's the thing. Like, fish only starts to smell when it's off, or when it's like, it's starting to degrade. Yeah, the winner of the ice fishing competition is... Drum roll, please. Thank you. Slimy. Again, if they're slimy, there's something going wrong here, Linus. Because, again, fish, other than hagfish, which thankfully I've never handled one, they generally aren't slimy because they're scaly, but not slimy unless something's wrong, like they're degrading and rotting in the air. So, you know, that's something I've looked at and thought of and stuff. It's the same with, like, you know, that misconception that some people have that snakes and other reptiles are slimy. And it's like, well, no, they're not amphibians. Amphibians tend to be a little bit mucusy. And I remember as a kid, I used to catch frogs. It was a kind of a, not like I'd deliberately go out of my way and try and catch a frog. It was more that, like, I remember when I was a young child, my grandparents' home, there was a pond there, and quite regularly, like once a year, you'd have the hatching of tadpoles. And because, of course, they're migrating away from it, they'd all be hopping away in the same direction. And I'd feel bad, because I was like, oh no, don't want to leave the pond. So I'd be catching them, putting them back in the pond, and then watching them do exactly the same. So, you know, I've handled them a few times. Okay, find 4 prismatic shards or Skull Cavern. Okay, look, I've tried 2 weeks on the trot. I'm not going to do it a third time. Right now, at least. I'm going to do the prismatic shards, because I can do that. I can definitely do that. And yeah, I still do feel a little bit gutted for the fact that I haven't been able to achieve that yet. But it's a thing, I'll live. It's not like it's the end of the world, as we know it. Right, so we got some pineapples going in for some wine. We've got some more beer on the go. We're making a good amount of extra income from the beer and the wine, because, as I joked in the description of my last video, it'd be nice to have High Ridge Winery rather than High Ridge Farm as the name of the place. Because, yeah, I'm just producing alcohol here. That is my entire, kind of my premise. I'm fermenting things with my pickles and such, or I'm brewing. Or distilling, actually, depending on what we're actually doing. Because I know potato juice isn't vodka, but yeah, you know. I'm still going to think of it as that's clearly vodka. Right, anyway. So, pineapple. Now, that would be something I would actually quite like to try. If someone has actually made some or knows where I could even acquire some. Pineapple wine. I think that would be really interesting. Like, I think it would have a really nice, sweet, rich flavour. I want to try it. Because I've mentioned it previously, but I've got a friend who makes mead, and I absolutely adore it. It tastes great. And I think that's it'd be an interesting thing to sort of look at. Okay, so in here we've got another lizard hatching. So I'm going to name this one after another one of the guinea pigs, because of course we've got all of them that everyone who's at the naming rights tier has already had animals named after them. So we're going to have Baby Floof. So this is one of my current 2 guinea pigs, Baby Floof and Teddy. I rescued them, and Baby Floof's original name was Teddy, and the other one was Bear. You know, original, right? But again, I can't really say much. I give my guinea pigs very silly names. And yeah, I muddled the names around because Teddy is a teddy guinea pig. Obviously the one who was originally called Bear. And Baby Floof, well, his full name is Floof Monster because he's a little monster. He's an absolute little butt. I adore him, but he's a butt. Literally no other way of putting it. He is an absolute pain in the posterior. He's a little attention seeker, and he squeaks up an absolute storm. He's adorable, but my goodness, is he a pain. There's only so much you can do without him just being like, hi, attention, attention. Which is sweet, but goodness gracious. So yes, we've named our animals, we've gone on through the day, and we're now into Tuesday. So, see what exciting stuff actually happens here. Well, grab ourselves another cup of coffee. Grab ourselves a couple of hops. I still haven't decided what to put up in these last 2 planters up here. I think maybe more coffee. Or maybe I could put the coffee plants elsewhere. Maybe in my growing shed. Have a little bit more in the way of access for useful crops, maybe. It probably wouldn't hurt, really, would it? Having more coffee plants, because then I could actually just produce more of it on the go. That's probably for the best, really, isn't it? Ah well, we'll think about it. We'll figure it out. It's how it goes. It's not the end of the world either way. Okay, so what other things can we sort out here today? Well, we're gonna go visit my lovely wife. She's got up and fed the animals and filled Toffee's water bowl. Thank you. I'm surprised that Toffee likes to sleep out in the cold. I wouldn't personally rate that as a thing, but hey, the cat can do what it wants to do. It's a cat. They are adorable, strange creatures, and they do strange, adorable things. I do like cats. And yeah. Anyways, we're going to reorganise that. So one of the things I might do as well in the next couple of days is reorganise these chests. So the chests, well, the chest that I have that is currently outside of the house, which is designated as my miscellaneous crop stuff. And I'm debating on which sort of approach I use. Do I have a singular one which is just for seeds in general, and then one that's for the fertilizers, the trees, and that sort of stuff? Or do I have one for each season, and then still one for fertilizer and miscellanea and just stuff? So, you know, I'm going to have a think about that and what might work best for me. Because, yeah, there's a few opportunities and a couple of ideas that probably wouldn't hurt. Honestly. And that's something I'm kind of looking at, really, is what other things can I do to improve my sort of my layout, what's going on, and how I'm trying to achieve things. So yeah, we'll have a go. We'll have a good old think. But for now, we also need more crystallariums for smelting all of this gubbins. That's all good. I think that's quite a positive and sort of optimistic view of things. Actually, we're just going to smelt all this iridium, or this copper, or this iron. Probably going to run out of coal, knowing my luck. But it'll at least have something, you know, vaguely completed in that regard, which is kind of good, I guess. Well, in my mind, that is good. Okay. So we'll see what else we can sort of achieve here. And that's really what we're after anyway, isn't it? Just smelting all of this iridium. And that'll be useful for making the crystallariums, because I know it's crystallariums and crystallariums they need iridium ore, sorry, iridium bars, sorry, obviously. Gold bars and battery packs. Now, battery packs are going to be the hardest thing for me to create at the moment because I rely on the generation of them from solar panels or from lightning rods. For the moment, however, I think really I'm going to rely more so on the solar panels, and that's why I want to build more of them. So that's going to be more refined quartz, and I think also gold bars again on that one. So that's, again, not impossible to deal with, but that is going to be something that I do need to be aware of and something I need to push towards. Oh, so we've got some more stuff here. I do need to figure out what I'm going to put there, though, because I want to put something there next to that. I think I might move the windmill, but the windmill doesn't look right there. I'm not sure. I don't know if the windmill would look right there. I think it's probably a better way of describing it. So yeah, I need to have a think and figure out what would look good there and would work for me and my plans. Okay. So what next? I mean, I know that's the big main question, isn't it? What next is a constant drive, isn't it? So, what other things can we sort out whilst we're around and about? Oh, I've accidentally put the pickaxe as the sign there. That's annoying. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, let's check. So, okay, none of the stuff is ready for harvest and for sale. So let's go and sort out the animal thing. So I should probably also figure out what am I going to do to decorate the animal coops and barn. So I'm kind of thinking of keeping with the trend of the red walls and the black slate roof, but colour coding them, or maybe colour coding the paint. I don't know. Maybe I should have the dinosaur one be green and the chicken one be brown or white. I don't know. Maybe blue, because I've got a blue chicken. I've also got black hens. So maybe I'll have the trim colours and I'll figure it out. You know, I've got some ideas. They might not be particularly clever ones, but they're ideas nonetheless. And that's kind of all I can say on that one, isn't it? I've got an idea. Whether it's a good one, goodness knows. Right. So let's see what other things that we can sort out while we're around and roaming. I mean, I guess that's the next big question, though, isn't it? What else can I organise for the farm? And I think maybe I need to move these fish ponds from there, or maybe move one of the fish ponds from here down to the side again, or I think reorganising a little bit of the farm wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? Because the layout of the farm isn't atrocious, but it's just trying to figure out what can I do to make it better. And I also do want to build a slime hutch. So that's going to be another big thing for me, is what am I going to do and how am I going to do it? So I need to figure that one out, actually, more than anything, is how can I do the slime hutch and how can I make them look good and be in a good position and actually use them? Because I've never really used a slime hutch before. I don't think I've ever made it in any of my playthroughs, which is probably a bit insane in some ways, because they're definitely a thing that's existed within the game for quite a while, and I've just never bothered really looking at them. So yeah, I'm going to make a slime hutch at some point. What that's going to mean for me, very different question, I think. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go, see what I can do with that. And I kind of hope for the best a little bit. So that'll be fine. We'll just get it all sorted, get it all organised, and that'll be great. Okay. So that's fine. Gonna potter along here and kind of see what we can gather. There's got to be something useful we can sort out while we're roaming around in town. So yeah. Hopefully something clever. So I'm going to cut down a couple of trees. Now, again, I don't really need the wood as much as I did previously. I'm not as concerned about just wood quantities, availability, and all that jazz. But it's nice to have more of it because I can use it by just turning it into charcoal, burning it lots, you know, that sort of thing. Right, Pierre, what can I... Winter root. Okay, well, I don't think I've got a winter root. I've got some snow yams. But that doesn't mean I can't get some. So I think I should have a look and see what that will actually mean for me. Like, what can I actually get? What can I organise? And can I grab one? Surely I've got one in the fridge or something. Because, unfortunately, it's one of those ones I don't really know if it's got much use. No, I've done the ocean fish one a couple of times. Let's make the omelette again. Actually, that gives me an interesting thought process. Does the ostrich egg, because it normally produces 10 quantities of mayonnaise every time you put one into the mayonnaise maker, does it do something similar to Gus's challenge? And then that leads on to the... there's a winter root. The second question is, can you remove items that you've already put into the fridges or the repository of where the hell you want to put things, for the cases of stuff? Like, is there a... Can you do something with it? I mean, can you remove them if you've already put one in and gone, oh, I don't actually want to get rid of it? You know, is that a feasibility? So that's something I need to have a look into, actually. So we'll give that a go. We'll give it a try and see what the game doth do. Which, you know, it's not a terrible thing to sort of figure out, is it? Okay. So, now, I think it was Evelyn who wanted it. Where are we? There we go. Evelyn, have yourself a winter root. I mean, it's probably not going to be worth much. 210. Again, it's... meh. It's a little bit of money. I don't really care too much. It's just a thing. I'll live. It's the sort of thing like, yeah, you could get something from it, but it's not really much to worry about, is it? Can't really worry about it at all, to be fair. Can you? There's some that you get, but we'll live. Anyway, let's see what we can build here in the farm. Well, we've got all that nice coal on the go, which is nice. What else? I think it's the next question, isn't it? What else would be good? I don't really know, to be fair. Come on, let's just slap all that stuff in there and we'll kind of go from there at least. Got to be something vaguely clever that we can do with this. And I guess that's kind of the question, isn't it? Is there anything else that we can do that might actually work well? Well, we've got the prismatic shards that we need for Mr. Key, which is, again, that's useful, that's good. And it wouldn't hurt for me to have, well, more stuff from Mr. Key to try and improve the... Well, actually, is there anything that he can provide me at the moment that is actually of any use? I don't know. Because I've got a stock of, like, his high-pressure sprinkler heads to increase the radius. I've got some of the ones that automatically apply fertilizer. Now, that one feels a little bit less useful. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's because I'm not actually appreciating what it's useful for, but it doesn't feel like that's actually very good, which I'm painfully aware might be a bit me reading into things that actually I'm incorrect about, which again, it's not like that happens on a regular basis. I know I'm an idiot, so not too concerned if that is actually the case. But at the same time, is there really much use for that? Like, honestly? Is that gonna help? I mean, I don't know. You can tell I'm sort of like umming and ahhing and just debating maybe a bit too much on that one. So all the same, we've got to have a good old think about while we sort all of our gubbins out, ready for the next few days. Okay, we're going to grab some more sap. We've planted all these lovely, lovely things. We've got so much starfruit on the grow here, which is good, because we need more starfruit. We're going to always need more of it, because it's our main export. Honestly. It's what we it's what we use to make as much money as we do. Which I think is quite reasonable to think about it like that. It's an expensive commodity in many ways, and it is the best way for me to make money. So that's going to be a thing, and that's really where I'm going to sort of aim for that. Okay, so let's dump the prismatic shards in there, so that's fine. So we've got 190 key gems. I obviously haven't spent any for ages, have I? I'm going to buy some more key seasoning, just because it'll improve the stuff that I'm making. I've bought everything else, really. I might buy another one or two of this aquatic sanctuaries, and then maybe I'll make a shed become a thing. Like, you know, an aquarium shed. Maybe? I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility, isn't it? Maybe I'll come up with something clever. I mean, that is unlikely. I'm painfully aware, don't worry. But you never know. I might come up with something vaguely clever. Okay, so there's some slime relations that are interesting. I'm going to head over to the dig site. It's been a while since I've been over to the dig site and actually gathered resources from there. So like the bone and all these bits here. Again, I'm really after the Omni Geodes, which I think I'm going to end up trawling back into the Skull Caves. Even though I'm not using it for fighting my way through and trying to, you know, kill everything and get down to floor 100, it's probably not a bad thing for me to kind of focus on, is it? Because I need the Omni Geodes, because I want the, what's it called? I want the turbans that the chap sells. Now, one of the things I also didn't realise, a friend of mine actually told me this quite recently, is that the Hat Mouse sells you more different hats the more achievements you've got in the game. So, I need to go and visit the Hat Mouse, because I haven't seen them for quite a while. They might have some more hats that I could buy, which might be quite nice. And I think it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to have lots of hats. Really. Which I think is, again, perfectly reasonable. I can have hats if I want. It's going to happen. And I like hats. It's a thing. We'll figure it out. So, yes, I'm going to have that. I'm going to give that a go at some point. I'm going to see what we can do with hats. But for now, we're going to go and visit the caldera of the volcano. Now, I've definitely got enough cinder shards to upgrade my hammer. My infinity gavel. I mean, look at that. It's got some pretty potent stats there. It's pretty beefy. But I haven't got an emerald. And an emerald is what I'm actually after. I had to think about this. Weapon damage is good. Undeniably. But I think I would be better off giving it a speed boost. Because being able to swing it faster would be more generally tactically beneficial when I'm adventuring deep in the mines or wherever. Because it's got the vampiric trait, again, that relies on something being killed by it. So yes, you could sort of suggest that actually increasing its damage with a ruby would be better. But I kind of feel that not like that the reverse is more applicable, but I think speed is actually a better choice at this moment in time. And I think that's, again, quite reasonable for me to sort of think about as a thing, really. But for now, we're going to have a good old muse, and I'm going to work my way through all of this stuff that we've got kind of just being made. I mean, there's not much to worry about as it goes, but I've still got some stuff to sort of, like, work on, haven't I? Okay. So, we've burned through a lot of coal there, but that's going to give us a lot of good end resources at the end of the day. Okay, so we've got quality fertilizer. Let's make a few more of these crystallariums. Now, I think I needed 10 or 12 of them. So I'm going to make 12, because if I've got 2 extras and they look a bit out of place, oh well, I'll live. I'll just put them somewhere else, which again is perfectly fine. I'm not really expecting much more than that, but it's a possibility that I might end up putting it somewhere a bit daft. I don't know. We will see, however. And that's kind of really all I can say on that one, isn't it? I will see. So yeah, I've actually realised that I've made too many of the crystallariums, which is not the greatest thing in the world, but I'll live. Now, where do I want to put the other 2? Let's put this one up here, because normally I'd put a chest there. I'll put a diamond in that one. I was debating whether I'd have more emeralds being created, but really, not too worried. Emeralds, yes, I want more of them, but not as much as I want diamonds. Because I'm not going to start singing Diamonds Are Forever. Don't worry. As much as my brain's like, but hear me out, you should totally start singing Diamonds Are Forever. One, because copyright strikes. That's something I really don't want to deal with. And yeah. Because yes, that is genuinely a thing that you need to be aware of. A lot more than you may actually expect, I think. And yeah, I don't want to risk that, thanks. That'd be nice. Nice not to worry about. So yeah. Okay, so let's see what other things we can sort out while we're here. We'll put some mangoes in here because I might want to make some mango sticky rice because, again, that's some very useful resources there. I mean, it gives you some quite interesting benefits. I say interesting, it gives you a very potent benefit in that it's fantastic. It gives you the increased defense, and of course, when am I not going to want an increased defense? Really? It's handy. It's really the best way of putting it, isn't it? It's phenomenally useful. Okay. So it's 11 o'clock. It's Tuesday. We've still got some time. I don't really want to waste too much of the rest of the day, but I need to go and sort out the upgrade for the weapon. And then, you know, we'll be in a better place, generally speaking. So I'm gonna grab coconuts when I see them, because again, they're kind of handy, and they are used in a few recipes in not, let's say, odd ways, but in ways that you might not expect and go, oh, actually, that's a little bit more useful than I'd appreciated, which is generally how a lot of the time I'm sort of not struggling, but it's I go, oh, I wish I'd thought about that. That would have been clever, would it not? So there have been occasions when I've gone, oh, whoops. But for now, we're going to upgrade the Infinity Gavel with a speed increase to make it a just generally better weapon. In goes the diamond, sorry, emerald even, and what have we got? So we have a +7 speed, whereas +4 for the sword inherently. The damage is roughly the same, but look at that, that is a much higher swing speed. And the swing speed is the thing that kind of hampers the hammers as a weapon, so that's all good. But we're pretty much coming to the end of today's show, so thank you very much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed, please do like, share, and subscribe, because all of those are very helpful. They help with my metrics and, you know, make me feel pleased. And so thank you very much for my Patreons who's supporting me with this. And I will catch you all, hopefully, the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.